pops out, just absolutely stunning. Go in. And there she is. Go on then. Oi! Comes out low, but almost spinnier, because I'm just allowing the club to generate a little bit more speed, means a little bit more spin. Nice and low, little bumpy one. Go on then. That shot right there, release one, I'm playing 99% of the time. Hi guys, welcome back to Josh Oddie YouTube. Today we are going to be talking about Dan Grieve's secret behind the 3 different releases that he has to hit different chip shots. Release number 1, we're going to dive straight into it, and this release is more of a chip and run shot, so we're not going to let the club go too far past us here, and I almost feel like it's not a stabby motion, but we're kind of just getting the club through and not letting it release all the way past us. Okay, so release 1, we're going to go to the back flag there, if you can see on the green, number 1. And this one's going to be more of a bumpy shot, and generally when I'm playing release 1 on the course, I kind of bring the ball back to almost middle of the stance, maybe even on the back foot. So this one's going to be weight kind of 60% forward, and I'm just going to go to release 1. Nice and low, little bumpy one. Go on then. So that shot's really useful for when you've got a bunch of green to work with and you kind of need to just get one close to the pin. That shot right there, release 1, I'm playing 99% of the time if I don't have anything really in front of me. So it just depends on what club I want. That was a lob wedge, and you know, as you can see there from release 1, if I bring the ball back, I can get it nice and low and driving in. Whereas you can maybe keep the ball forward, keep everything pretty similar and use a gap wedge, but I tend to like to use 60 all the time. So now we'll move on to release 2. This one is generally a little bit softer landing, so we're going to let the club go past us here, and I'll kind of move the ball position now with 60 to just inside the front foot here. I have a hair open face, as I always do when I chip, and then we'll go pass to release 2. Just let the club go all the way through, let it overtake the hands almost as well here. So it lands a little bit further, nice soft bounce in there tight again, and that shot is also one that I play a lot, and it's not a lot of manipulation with what you're doing to the club and the shot here, so that's just a general shot, and you know, you're not really thinking too much about what you're doing. So now we've got release number 3, and this is the lob shot. So release 1, we're kind of just letting the club stay behind the hands and just drive it through, little bump and run. Then we've got release 2, where we let the club overtake the hands. Then we've got release 3, where it almost ends up with our hands in our left pocket and the club's kind of pointing back to us. So you want a nice open face, really let that club overtake the hands. So we'll go to the front flag here. Similar kind of position to release 2. Nice and high. Pretty soft landing and a very tough pin position there. But generally a pretty good shot, and I tend to, on release the 3, I like to take a little bit of a longer swing and a bit slower with my tempo. So that's always a nice way to get it landing a little softer. Hands maybe a hair lower. And there she is. Go on then. Oi! Okay, so release 1, let's go back over it and hit 5 shots with each release and really deep dive it now. So release 1 is our bump and run shot. I'm going to gauge out where 10 paces is from this hole with my lob wedge. So I know that my bump and run with the lob wedge, release 1, runs out round about 30 feet. So this green's ever so slightly uphill, so we can chuck it a little bit further. Ball just inside the back foot. And perfect. So Now we'll go to sand wedge, and generally every wedge I go down it adds 2 paces. So now I'd have to land this 36 feet short of the flag. Similar technique. Comes out a hair lower, same outcome. And then we'll go all the way to a 7-iron, exact same release. And this one won't even hit the green, it will land short, just release up. And that's one I'd play, you know, if I was super worried about the lie. And you know, release one's great. It's a shot that you can use, like I say, 99% of the time, a very safe one. Pretty good. 5 decent shots, and release one is certainly a shot you need to have in the bag. Okay, so release 2, I can land a little bit closer than release 1. Generally for me, around about 15 feet is my release 2, so with my lob wedge. And the only difference really for me I'm feeling is I'm just letting the club overtake the hands on the way through. Comes out low but almost spinnier, because I'm just allowing the club to generate a little bit more speed, means a little bit more spin. And you know, I always really like practicing release 2. I feel like if my chipping goes to, what's a nice word than saying then? If my chipping's not great, I'll generally go and work on release 2. Generating a lot of spin with it, and it's, you know, a great shot to have also in the arsenal, you know, just letting that club overtake the hands and get that strike perfect. Okay, now we've got release number 3 again, where we let that club really overtake the hands. And like I say, I kind of take a longer but slower swing to allow that ball to land even softer. Might have to allow for a bit of wind here. Oh no, oh no. That's the dangers of release number 3. It's a really risky shot, and you know, high risk, high reward. So let me just not lift the head on this one. There she is. Release 3, a very risky shot, but one that might get you out of trouble one day. By all means, I'm not the master of this. Dan Grieves is unbelievable. I'm going to leave his Instagram down below. He's the absolute short game goat. So Dan, if you end up watching this, I need a lesson. This is one that I saw on his Instagram, and me personally, I was actually struggling with this shot, where in the UK we do get these burnt out lies, and you know, I was really struggling with this shot. And what he says is to go toe down, open face, and we're going to really swing out on this line here. We're not going to let the bounce get involved. We're almost going to kind of chop down right on top of it. Go to that number 1 flag, toe down, out on that line. And it just comes out a joke. Like, I don't know how Dan has figured that out, but that shot has saved me so many times. Okay, so a nice little way to practice as well when you're in the bunker, I like to draw a line and kind of practice my low point control. So let me just hit one here where I go in front of the line. This divot now we can see has started in front of the line. So now the objective of this drill is to get into release 3, so that club's really gonna overtake the hands. And we're going to take this whole line out. So ideally I want the club to enter at the start of the line here, and the divot to go all the way through. See, now the divot is started before the line and going through it. I'm going to visualize that line just in behind the ball, and I kind of get the weight at 60% again into this lead leg, nice and low with the legs and the hands. Wasp on my hand, don't sting me. Face wide open, let the club overtake the hands, release 3. Pops out, just absolutely stunning, go in! beautiful golf shot, and you work on these free releases, it becomes a pretty easy game. So shout out Dan Grieves. Appreciate everyone for watching that video, and I hope that helped you. As I said, I'm not the master, Dan Grieves is, and appreciate all the support on the channel. It means the absolute world to me. If there is any other secrets to the game that you want to know, anything you're struggling with in your own game, leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to get that all covered. Appreciate all the support. We will see you all for the next one.